Shalom, shalom, Israel. This is Brother Ray J back with another edifying video. This video I'm doing a follow up on the brother Botham Shem and the ladies that killed the devil that killed him has finally been charged with manslaughter, and she didn't even spend a night in jail. All right, so she didn't spend one full day in jail, and she got out. Her bail was set at $300,000. Ridiculous. So she, you have to pay 10% of that. So she was paid 30,000. All right. So she didn't pay anything, man. She got out. She got out easy. So we this video is gonna be on this, and I'm gonna also do a video on the hurricane that's coming to South Carolina. Well, that's where I live. So it's a hurricane that's coming here called Hurricane Florence. And man, you reading these scriptures, man, they look at it like it's nothing big, but the Most High is doing all this, man. There's nothing. It's not random occurrences, man. We got to be measuring these times and linking up these prophecies with the things that's happening. All right, so we're gonna start off with this, and we're gonna reach to that topic.
A deadly encounter ends with a police officer killing an innocent man. Tonight, that officer is charged with manslaughter.
Yeah, it has been 3 days now since that shooting. 3 days of confusion, 3 days of questions, 3 days of crying out for justice. Here she is. This is a Dallas police officer.
This is damn devil, man. Look who took that brother's life, man. You know who she was and what she represents, man. It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous that she can go in this man's house, shoot him dead, and kill him, and she gets manslaughter. And they waited 3 days to charge her. Like the man was saying, it's been nothing but confusion. They haven't been putting anything out. The Texas Rangers, whoever took over the operation, they weren't letting any information out. And now the DA did a video today on it, and I'm gonna go to that after that. And it's been transferred over to them to do this case. So we'll see how it goes out. The woman, she claimed that she's going to pursue them to the fullest extent. But you can't never trust these people, man. You can't. All right? Because look at what happened, man. They don't have 3 days. Look at this devil, man. This is the devil, man.
Geiger is her name. She was arrested and charged with manslaughter tonight, and she has already made bond. Todd Unger joins us live now. And Todd, it
already made bond. Already. You did something like this and you was a black, Native American, or Mexican, I could promise you they're going to throw you under the bus. I promise you they're going to hit you with $1 million bond or a $2 million bond. You literally walked in this man's house and shot him dead and killed him and got manslaughter and got out in 2 days. I mean, he got out 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, my bad. 2 or 3 hours. She didn't even do a full day in jail. And it's ridiculous, man.
didn't take long. She's already out of jail.
Indeed, Jason, like you mentioned, posting bond just a couple of hours ago, so she won't even spend one complete night in jail. We've got some video of her being taken away after she posted bond just around the 8 o'clock hour this evening. Her bond was set at $300,000, and this arrest comes after this victim's family and their attorneys have been pleading for what they call justice. Arrested for manslaughter. This is the face of DPD officer Amber
I ain't even gonna say that, man. The picture says it all, like I said, man.
And the real question on this Sunday night remains just how Thursday night turned so deadly.
This is the worst pain any mother can feel.
Allie Jean has spent this weekend in disbelief, stunned that her son, Botham, was shot and killed in his own apartment after authorities say Geiger mistook his place for her own, thinking he was an intruder and then opening fire.
Out of all these apartments, that is the one apartment. This, my Botham.
Earlier Sunday, the family and their attorneys met with the Dallas DA, insisting that Geiger be arrested.
At this point, we need probable cause of a crime, and the existence of probable cause is painstakingly clear to everyone.
Only moments later, word emerged that the 30-year-old was indeed in custody. It is the Texas Rangers who've been tasked with the larger...
She was in custody 3 days later after this happened, man. 3 days, man. She was walking free for 3 days. All right? Ridiculous, man. Police is protecting her, man. It's ridiculous.
Investigation, something that former Chief David Brown says is highly unusual for Dallas.
What circumstances are there to dictate that? Is there something that was done or said by this officer that they can't release yet? And the questions surrounding that is why? Why can't you answer some basic questions?
Investigators finally pushed...
Exactly. They're not even answering basic questions. And I'm going to show you the DA interview that happened the day after this. And they still going to be playing around, man. Dancing around the questions, man.
With the arrest Sunday afternoon, and Geiger was booked into the Kaufman County Jail before bonding out late tonight. Mayor Rawlings releasing a brief statement just a few minutes ago, essentially thanking all the investigators who have been hard at work at this for pretty much the last 72 hours. By the way, the Dallas DA will hold a press conference right here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Jason, Marie.
Ridiculous. All right, this is the DA news conference.
Okay, thank you all very much for being with us this morning. First of all, I want to introduce some of the people who are standing here with me. Obviously, I have the family of Mr. John here to my left. His mom, his sister, his brother, all are here, and they've come from different parts of the country, and also mom came from St. Lucia. She's here, and also their lawyers are here. And to my left here, I have my first assistant, Mr. Mike Snipes, and next to him, obviously, you know, Mayor Rawlings, and my criminal division chief, Kevin Brooks, and next to him is Jason Hermans. Jason Hermans is the chief of my public integrity unit, and then next to him is George Lewis, who also works in that unit. Most of you all know that we have a special unit dedicated to investigating all police shooting, man, and that unit ran by Mr. Hermans.
We don't care about you, man. Get to the family, man. Get to giving us information. Y'all gonna see very shortly that this whole thing, they're gonna rarely give you any information, and then what they're gonna say is that they're protecting the information, because they want to produce it to the grand jury or whatever. All right, so they're not gonna really release nothing because they're trying to say they're protecting their case, which I hope is really true, that they got murder on this woman and they're gonna throw her into the jail. But you know, you can't never trust it, man. You can't.
And also George Lewis, who is kind of the deputy in that unit, is always diligently out there working whenever there's a police shooting, and they've been very, very involved in this case. When we met with the Texas Ranger, we had a full spirited conversation with the Texas Rangers on yesterday. They were able to come meet with us for almost 2 hours, gave us a briefing of the case, also updated us on the case. After that conversation, they made it very clear to us that they were going to issue a warrant for manslaughter. And although we had a spirited debate, we also gave them our opinions, and we also gave them our insight into it. But remember, the Texas Rangers is that organization, that a law enforcement agency that was responsible for the investigation of the case. Although they are still investigating, now we are doing a thorough investigation. We're continuing our investigation, and the grand jury will be that entity that will make the final decision in terms of the charges that will be that will come out of this case. So in preparation for that grand jury, my staff is constantly out there talking to witnesses, uncovering additional information, and we will be prepared to present a full case to the grand jury in this matter. I do want to thank Chief Hall for inviting the Texas Rangers to come in and to investigate this case. We love the idea of an independent investigator looking at the facts of this case. And although the Texas Rangers was looking at the case, we too are independently looking at the case. I also want to thank the Texas Rangers for all the hard work that they have put into this case over the last 5 days, their diligence and the hard work that they've done. I also want to thank the family. We had the opportunity to meet with the family on yesterday. I think we were with them, maybe a couple of hours. And so we are appreciative of them coming down. We were able to talk to them about the process, talk to them about our views of the case, also talk to them about the things that we were preparing to do and will continue to do as we get this case ready for the grand jury. I want everyone to continue to join us as we pray for this family, as they go through their this process of grieving, as they go through the process of finally putting their loved one to rest. And I just want to invite
We don't want none of your false prayers, man. Bring justice, man. Like the Most High says, death should equal death, man. Period. She murdered that brother, so she should get murdered. Her family should have to deal with them losing her. That's a just judgment, man. Thus saith the Lord, man. We don't want anything less than that. We don't want your vain prayers that the Most High is not hearing. You're not keeping the laws. You're not keeping the commandments. You're up here working for the government, man. We don't want to hear your vain prayers, man. Okay? We don't want to hear none of that, man. All right? This brother over here to the right, man, he don't lost his family member, man. You think he care about that, man? Oh, my God, man. Shh.
everyone, not only in this county, but throughout the state and throughout the country, to remember them, to remember their loss, and remember what they're going through at this time. We will take any questions, but not right now. I want to invite the mayor to come. He has a couple of comments that he would love to take and make, and then we'll take questions.
Thank you, District Attorney. I speak on the behalf of the citizens of Dallas who are mourning with the Jean family. As I have said earlier, Botham was a model citizen, and when you lose someone like that in this way, we mourn and our heart breaks with that family. Family's been great. This is a hard week for them, and we must, as the district attorney said, lift them up in prayer at this time. One thing that we've been promising is that we will get transparency and we will get all the information out. Justice is a relay race. It is not a 40-yard dash. And we have some great...
Israel, you're not going to never get no true justice from these people, man. They can do all that rah-rah talk, but look at this man's eyes, man. Look at what he represents, man. You're never going to get any justice. Your only justice is going to only come from Yahweh Botham Shem and nothing else. All right? And nothing else. You can listen to this devil all day, all you want to, man, but he's not gonna give you justice. All right? They gave this woman manslaughter so far. All right? She can get out in a year or two, man. It's ridiculous, man. But like I said, let one of you black brothers go into a white woman's house and shoot her dead at her front door and kill her. All right? And you see if you get manslaughter. This is a damn shame, man.
On passes that have taken place in the last few days. I also applaud Chief Hall for bringing in the Texas Rangers. I thank them for their work. And then they have handed off that baton to the district attorney. And I know she and her staff will do their job. So as a citizen group, let us...
I gotta get the scripture real quick, man. I got to. Gotta get the scripture. Murder. Forgot which one it is, but Search bar. That's what I want right here. Numbers 35 and 31. This is what we feel about this devil, man. All right? We don't feel no sympathy for this devil, man. All right? Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which they don't did, man. Took satisfaction, man. Gave her 3 days. Didn't charge her. Didn't release her face. Didn't release her name. All right? Protecting her, man. They're taking satisfaction for the life of a murderer, man. All right? What does the Most High say? Which is guilty of death. But he shall be surely put to death. We don't want nothing less than that, man. We don't want no 10 years. We don't want no 2 years. We don't want no 5 years. We want her life to be taken like this brother's life was taken. We want her to go through the same pain that he went through. All right? We want their people to go through the same pain that our people have to go through constantly, man. We want nothing less than that, man. We don't care what the rules of this earth may say, man. This is what the Most High God thinks, Yahweh. All right? Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. We want him surely put to death. We want her surely, like you inject all this stuff into these brothers' veins and kill them dead in front of people. We want the same thing done to her. Surely put to death, man. But nah, it's different with them, man. Any person with right mind can see it, man. It's ridiculous. We can't continue this.
Sure that we care about justice and we do the right thing in this time that we're getting through. We'll get all the facts. We'll get it all there. No one's going to get extra credit for showing something on social media when it's not.
This ain't no extra credit, bro. This is this dude's family, man. We don't want the facts later. We want the facts now, man. What do people think this is, man? They playing with it like it ain't a life, man. Like, what is releasing this information? How is that going to hurt your trial? How is that going to hurt your grand jury? How is that going to make your trial and void and know it? How? It doesn't make no sense, man. You're releasing basic information, man. Why can't you release the basic information?
True. Let's think about the family. Let's get all, if anybody's got real information, she's going to take it. Let's get it out there as quickly as we can and get this behind us. Thank you so much, Faith, for taking this on.
That's the main key. That's what he really wants, to get it behind them because they're under pressure right now. That's what Dallas County, the mayor wants. That's what he wants, man. He wants the pressure to be upon. He doesn't want the pressure to be upon his police department. He wants to get it behind them, man. Deal with this shit. Go out in front of these black people. Deal with all these black people that I really don't agree with or even care about. Just so I can get my Dallas police department to get this past them, man. That's why he's out there, man. And you see what they represent once again, right here in the big circle, the 5-point star, which is literally the epitome of Satan, man. Which all these devil worshippers and all these other vain people, this is what they believe on the left side, man. All right? This is what they believe in, man. You go to any of these worships, if you was to go to these so-called Satan worshippers, this is their main symbol right here behind them. Right here behind them, man. This is what they'll be doing their rituals and stuff in, man. They vain rituals. But our only ritual is to Yahweh about Shema Mashiach Yahushua and nothing else. All right? We don't care about these damn demons, man, and what they represent behind the scenes. Because we can see through their vainness, man. We can see through their eyes, man. The eyes is the window to the soul. We can see what they really care about, man, and what they really pushing. Just getting it all behind them. That's all he cares about, man. He don't care about his brother's life or his family. I guarantee you after this, they won't see this white man to the left side ever again. Or this black woman that's in the front talking ever again. All right? They won't never call to see how they're doing. what's taking place, how's your life moving on. They gonna go on to the next damn case, man. All right? That's why you can't get no justice from these people, man. You can't get no, you're not gonna get saved from these people. Your only justice in being saved is from Yahweh Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Ain't nothing else.
Judge, in the honor of transparency and justice, as the mayor just mentioned, can you explain to the public, since you had a conversation with the Texas Rangers, why it's already determined at this juncture, that this is a manslaughter case as opposed to what we've seen previously, a murder case?
That has not been determined.
It has not been determined. Why is this a manslaughter case instead of a murder case, man? You've been given the go ahead, okay? Faith Johnson, this DA woman, the leader of the DA, she's been given the go ahead, man. So you should know these answers, man. You should be able to tell that, oh, we're not pursuing after manslaughter no more. We're going after murder. No, they're confused, man. It's just you can just see vanity, man. All right? The wicked are strange from the room and speak lies, man. All they do is speak lies. Paraphrasing, man. All they do.
The Texas Rangers made the decision to issue an arrest warrant for manslaughter. The ultimate decision in terms of what this charge will be presented to the grand jury. Faith Johnson, your Dallas County District Attorney, has taken on this case. And believe me, we will make certain that justice is done in this case. So I have full confidence in my investigators, my staff, that we will get to the bottom of everything, and we will present not only the evidence that we already have, but we will have continuously, we will look at the evidence, and we will have even more evidence that we will be presenting to the grand jury. So keep in mind, what happened yesterday was that the Texas Rangers had probable cause for an arrest and from their viewpoint of manslaughter. Yes.
When you said you had a spirited debate, where did your office come in on that spirited debate and what was it about?
Well, obviously, that conversation was a private conversation.
Why are you not going to tell them what y'all talked about, man? Like, you think 4 or 5 days going after this happened that they would be telling us something, man? Something about this brother, man. Some reason why she shot this brother, man. Something. Like, how is that going to hurt the validity of your case, man? To the grand jury by telling people basic information. How? They just don't want people to take this around with it because they know it's she a damn devil that walked in and killed this man, man. There's no way around it. They don't want social media to go crazy about it. So they don't tell her black ass to shut up, man. All right? They don't tell her to come out here and, like I said, once again, putting a face that is good for black people to calm down. Oh, this is a black woman. She really gonna do these things. She really gonna make a change. You know, they put these people out to show you. You think she doesn't have a bosses over her, man? You think she doesn't have someone she goes to? Yes. Why is he not out here? Because he's some white man. Because he's Esau. They don't want him out there, but they want someone that appeals to the people to be out here telling these things, man. Someone that appeals to the people that are in distress. Appeals to the black, Native American, and Mexican man and woman. All right?
Our views, I can't get into the details of it, but at the end of that conversation, the Texas Ranger made the decision that it would be manslaughter based on their viewpoint. And I'm not challenging them on their viewpoint. I think they did a great job in preparing the investigation and conducting the investigation. So I'm not going to challenge them on what they did. They worked hard. But what I'm telling you is that now this case is in the hands of the Dallas County District Attorney. And we are going to, my staff had said to me yesterday, Judge, I've only gotten 8 hours sleep and 4 days, 8 hours. So that tells you exactly our commitment to this case. And we will continue to be committed, and we're gonna unravel whatever we need to.
Okay, y'all ain't been getting no sleep, man. Big deal. You think the family been getting sleep, man? You think these people ain't really getting sleep, man? You think they really ain't going to sleep every night? They're lying to you, man. Like I tell you, man, keep in mind what they got behind them, man. This 5-point star, man. All right, you know, it's Israelites out there to try to say the star that we have that's seen in nature is the star of Molech and things like that, when they don't even know the scriptures or the breakdowns for that, man. But you know what this 5-point star represents, man. All right, you know what that represents. But our star is not even our star. We don't even worship this, man. It's just a representation of the things the Most High likes in nature. All right, the pomegranate, the lily, things that come naturally in nature. Plenty of times, man. All right, we don't never worship this thing like these brothers that walk around with crosses, with Tammuz, the lowercase t, and they thinking they're doing something for Yahweh Shah, so-called Christ. They're not doing anything, man. They're worshiping a vain god, someone that's not even a god. All right, that's named Tammuz. That's why it's a lowercase t. We know that today, through Roman records, that Yahweh Shah, Christ, he was not even crucified on a lowercase t. What they so-called make it look like. He was either crucified on a regular stake, a pole, like a regular stake in the ground, straight up and down, okay, or it was an X. And that's based on their records, man. So for them to come out and say that, you know, it's another vain interpretation that our people are lost in today, man. They go out and get white Jesus on their cross, man. And they go out and get this cross that doesn't even represent Yahweh Shah, man, but represents these vain I don't even know what to call it, man. Because they're not gods, but the people on the earth call them gods. When there's only one God, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shah. All right? There's only one true Most High God. All right?
Now, well, we're going to unturn whatever we need to unturn, and we're going to present a full case to the grand jury of Dallas County.
Judge, can you tell us
Hold on, one question at a time.
if you or Judge Knight help us understand accurately what happened at that door? We need to know because there's a number of different.
Exactly. Tell us exactly what happened at the door. That's not going to hurt your investigation. That's not going to hurt your trial. All right? Tell us what happened at the door that led to this woman shooting this man. Can you tell us that? Can you give us any actual information instead of just blasting us with this BS? Oh, we hadn't slept in nights. Oh, we can't tell, man. Anybody can say that. If you got the information to back up, you haven't slept in nights, then people might believe you, man. But you ain't even releasing no information. You're just saying that you've been working hard, diligently, all night, ain't getting no sleep. But there's no evidence of it, man. There's no breaking down of what actually has happened, man. People haven't got one of their questions answered, man. All they ever release is manslaughter, what the woman looks like, and what her name is, which social media already knew before they even released this BS, man. And that's the only reason they released it, because they didn't want to look bad having the world know everything, and they didn't even release the information yet. Oh.
About what happened.
You all know that we will not talk about the facts of this case. We will not ever compromise our investigation.
How is that gonna compromise your investigation by giving basic information? They didn't think not to give the information when Mike Brown got shot. They didn't think to give out the information that he was rushing the officer. They didn't think to give out the information that he came out of that convenience store. They didn't rush to give the information that Trayvon Martin was fighting with George Zimmerman. They rushed to give all that information, man. But when it comes to this officer, man, for some reason, it's not the same transparency. And we know the reason, man. All right? Because they hate our people, man. All right? They hate us. All right? They don't care. They hate when they're in these type of positions, man.
You have the history to know. You all see our history as it relates to taking these cases seriously putting in the hard work, putting in the commitment. We will do no less in this case than what we have done previously. So we are committed to making certain that we get to the bottom of this. We will not compromise the investigation of the case. We will not do that. But trust me, we will present to the grand jury everything that we can possibly present to them, not only what we already have, but we have full faith that we will continue to gather even additional information that we will be prepared to present to the grand jury. There's no timetable right now. We're going to try to do it as quickly as possible, but we will not compromise the investigation.
So how long we gotta wait, man? How long we gotta wait? It might be forever until this grand jury actually hears this case. She just said there's no time. How long we gonna have to wait till there's no answers? How long is this family that's right to your left of you gonna have to wait until you start actually telling them something that of actual value, of actual giving them answers, man? How long are they gonna have to wait?
We will not go quick just for the sake of getting it to the grand jury. We want the grand jury to make certain they have everything. They have all the information they need to make the decision in this case. And that's what we're committed to.
DA, it took almost 3 days for her arrest and booking. She went to Kaufman County when she lives 2 blocks from Dallas PD. Dallas Police Department was not releasing her name until after a few days later. How do you explain to the citizens that this looks like special treatment? How do you tell them it's not special treatment because she's an officer?
Exactly. Esau over here telling the truth, man. How can you act like this is not special treatment, man? When anyone with common knowledge, I wouldn't even say knowledge, a basic level of worldly understanding could know that this is not the same way you treat everyone else. They waited 3 days. This woman was walking free for 3 days, and then she went and turned herself into a different police department that wasn't even in Dallas. Then she got manslaughter. And she got out the same night with a $300,000 bail. It's ridiculous, man. This woman's walking free right now.
Only thing I can say to you is that
that gives you the answer right there, man. A stuttering BS answer. She finna spew straight BS. She finna say the same thing over and over again. I put money on it. I ain't even gonna put money on it because we don't gamble, but still, you get what I'm saying, man. You get what I'm saying. I can guarantee you that she gonna say the same BS and she ain't gonna answer nothing this brother just said.
based on our history, we are committed to making certain that everybody is treated the same and with justice. Now, hold on.
What the heck? I told you can't make this up, man. They got her out there saying the same exact thing every single time. When they want answers, she blocks the information and says the same exact thing. Nobody cares about your Justice Department. Nobody cares about your reputation for solving cases, man, for putting our black people down majority of the time. No one cares about your reputation of your department, man. We care about justice for this young black man, man. We want nothing less than death, man. Nothing less than what the Most High says should happen to a murderer. That's simple, man.
Rangers handle that investigation. I can't speak for the Texas Rangers in terms of what they did. We are in this case. We're in this case. This case is now belongs to the Dallas County District Attorney. So you have to take that point up with the Texas Rangers in terms of what happened. That was totally their call. That was totally their responsibility. That was totally their...
But I thought she talked to the Texas Rangers to get an understanding. These people are just BSing, man. They just BSing, man. Period.
Were you in agreement with that?
I had nothing to do with what the Texas Rangers
But
is
you were
doing.
talking to them for 2 hours. Were you in agreement?
He just said they was talking for 2 hours. Like I just said, they don't have no... So if you so diligent, working so diligent, they gave you information for 2 hours and they didn't tell you why they did these things. They didn't tell you why they held this woman for longer than the usual. They didn't tell you why their process was as it was. They didn't tell you why their process was like it was. Period. But she can't even. She's deflecting the question, man.
I think I can tell you that we had a very spirited conversation. It was a private conversation. I cannot, and you got to understand this, I cannot dictate to the Texas Rangers their process, their investigation, what they do or what they don't do. I can't do that because I'm not their boss. But I am the boss of this Dallas County District Attorney's Office, okay?
Judge, real quick, yesterday we were told by the family's attorneys that they brought forward new evidence that could change the course of this investigation, including new video and a witness. What exactly were you presented with, Judge, and did that have any kind of impact onto this charge?
Again, I cannot talk about
Can you validate anything? Can you give one answer to these people, man? One thing. No one wants to hear your BS talk about your DA's office, man. This is just ridiculous, man. I almost can't sit and watch these people and how they act when it's not their family members is dead. If it was their family members is dead, they would be acting entirely different, man. They would be on it. They would be wanting to get the information. But because it's not their people and because they really don't care about it, they just don't care, man. They won't even give you basic information.
Of the facts in this case. We want to be able to, whatever happens with this case, just like in the Roy Oliver case, we want to make certain that this case stays in Dallas County. So I will not go into any details. Believe me, we love anybody out there who has anything they think that can help us. We want it. And we will talk to you. And we will interview you. Because we want everything that we could possibly have to present to the grand jury. We're committed to that. Yes.
Department SIU unit already had a manslaughter warrant since Friday with the same evidence, basically, that the Texas Rangers have, excluding the interview with the suspect, the officers.
I'm gonna pause it right here. These people are liars, man. They're straight liars, man. There's no way around it. Look at this, man. I just gotta pull another scripture, man. They're straight liars, man. They have no knowledge or understanding. We get Proverbs 6 and 16, man. What does the Most High think about these people and their deception, man? These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look. That's what they got, man. They proud. She proud about her DA's office. She's proud that she's the head of the DA's office. She's proud of her whole team. Everyone's that she's boasting. The Most High hates that. He hates a proud look. When you don't even know these scriptures, you ain't even keeping these laws, man. Following these statutes and commandments and having the faith in the works. You ain't even doing none of these things, man. So you got a proud look for no reason. Alright? And you shouldn't even be proud regardless, but they don't have nothing to be proud of. They proud of the things of this world, but that thing profits nothing in the end, man. Alright? A lying tongue. The Most High hates that, man. He hates a lying tongue, man. He hates these liars out here, man. It's telling all these lies and withholding information from people, man. He hates them, a lying tongue. And listen to this, man. This is for this Amber Geiger devil. This is what the Most High God, Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahushua thinks about you. And hands that shed innocent blood. The Most High hates the hands that shed innocent blood. He hates that woman, man. And she needs to be put to death. Alright? But the Most High is all love. God is all love. God loves everybody. But this is what the Most High says. He hates the hands that shed innocent blood. Alright? Jump down to 19. A false witness that speak of lies, and him that soweth discord among brethren. He hates false witnesses. They're speaking lies, man. If y'all can't see that they're lying to you, you have no actual vision. You're stuck in this world with TV and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, where they literally made this up to make you not have a brain of your own, not to see what's right in front of your face. The Most High hates these things, man. He hates the proud look of their department, the lying tongue of their department, the hands that shed innocent blood of this woman. And she has a lying tongue too, man, saying she walked into the brother's room and thought it was hers and killed a man. That's a lying tongue, man. He hates that, man. Then they gotta pay with it with their life, man. If they don't get it right now, they're gonna get their kids and everything else is gonna be paid for. Cause it's the Most High's judgment, man.
Why was there not an arrest on the manslaughter charges that SIU had already taken to your office and waited for the Texas Rangers for 3 more days?
Until somebody, i.e. the Texas Ranger, issued that arrest warrant, it will not be an arrest. So some law enforcement department has to do that. The Texas Rangers
It's ridiculous because to release this information, you have to have probable cause. And we know that they had probable cause to charge this woman with something, man. But they waited 3 days, man. It's ridiculous, man. It's just straight ridiculous.
the leading organization, law enforcement organization that headed up this investigation. So
was prepared to do that on Friday.
I have no idea what happened between DPD and Texas Rangers other than the Texas Rangers took on the lead in this investigation.
You have no idea, but weren't they supposed to tell you something? Aren't y'all in the same city? Didn't you meet with these people for 2 hours? Aren't you in this Dallas? What if y'all didn't interchange information? But you're working day and night, right? Your people aren't getting no sleep. But you don't have the answers to any damn thing, man. It's ridiculous.
So they were given, I'm assuming, the opportunity to do that investigation, to talk to people. So since they were the lead in this investigation, and then after whatever they discovered, whatever they learned in the course of this investigation, then they decided to issue the arrest warrant for manslaughter.
You and the mayor both say that bringing the Texas Rangers in is the right decision. Why is that the right decision?
Only because transparency and the independent investigation as opposed to DPD investigating themselves.
That's it.
And I think I think the citizen would appreciate that. I think it's always better for someone outside to investigate you as opposed to you investigating yourself. Hold on, I'm sorry. Only thing I can tell the people of Dallas County is that we are receiving additional information, and with that additional information and with our additional investigation, we're going to have a full picture to be able to present to the grand jury. And the grand jury will be able to look at all aspects of this case, which will include anything from murder, manslaughter, or what have you. So yes, we have a lot that we're going to hopefully not only what we have now, but we have a lot that we plan to be able to present to the grand jury.
Judge, can I ask you about the optics that some people within the community have regarding the process of this officer going to Kaufman County, a rural county, to turn herself in, go through that process. Many are suggesting that therefore means that she will be adjudicated, et cetera, in Kaufman County as opposed to here. They were already talking about change of venue. Can you educate folks about that?
You all can help us with this whole issue of change of venue. If you stop asking us questions about getting into the details of the facts. That's the issue in terms of change of venue. If the people of Dallas County have already made up their mind based on what they heard, it would be very difficult for us to get a fair jury in this county. I don't want this case to be transferred to another county. And just because she turned herself in Kaufman County, that was between her and the Texas.
All they want is basic information, man. They're not asking you to tell the details, the minute details of the case to expose your case to these people, man. They just want basic information. Like, why did she go in the apartment? They have none of these problems telling us these things when it's the other way around. When it's a black man that's killing a white, it's a black man that's killing a white man. All right? Or even the other cases where a black man has got shot by a white man. They have no problem introducing the fact that, he rushed him and he got shot and killed. The officer was scared for his life. They have no problem saying those things. But what is the problem here? Why can't you give people basic information?
Rangers. This case is a Dallas County case. The Dallas County District Attorney's Office is doing a thorough investigation. You can trust that. And you can trust Mine Public Integrity Unit. That is a unit that is dedicated to investigating police shooting. And I have full confidence in that unit. They do an extraordinary job. And as I just indicated to you earlier, they have gotten maybe 8 hours of sleep in the last 3 or 4 days. That's how seriously.
She's pushing it again, man. No one cares. No one. We care about this family and this brother that just lost his life innocently, man.
We're taking this case. And they are not through. We got a lot to do. And that's why once we get it all together, we are going to be presenting this case to the grand jury. But we will not be quick. We're not going to jump the gun. We're going to make certain we got all our ducks in a row, and we're going to present the best case that we can present to the grand jury of Dallas County.
Judge, yesterday you spoke to
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
No action has been taken at this point.
Judge,
Yes.
yesterday you spoke to Miss Allison at length. Apparently she poured her heart out to you. Can you tell us a little bit about what?
So she hasn't even been fired from the Dallas Police Department. If y'all didn't hear that. She hasn't even been fired yet, and she's been officially charged. And she's still a member of the police department. On leave or whatever. But she still hasn't even been fired from the department. It's ridiculous, man.
What those moments were like with Miss Allison.
The only thing I can say to you, because those are private moments. We talked to the family, and not just the mom, the sister was here, the brother, the whole family was here. And we had a very good conversation. That's why they're here today. They're here today because they know where we are with this case, and they have a very good understanding in terms of all the work and all the efforts that we're going to put into this case. We've already put into it, and we will continue to. So we had a very good conversation.
So when will an incident report be released? Because that hasn't yet been made public.
I don't know when the Texas Ranger plan to release the incident report. So as soon as they get one, as soon as they release it, then we'll have one too.
Judge, can you tell me if the Texas Rangers, their investigation is complete,
No.
finished, and done?
No, their investigation is not complete. They too are still investigating this case, right alongside us. So they have other witnesses to talk to, other things to do. We too.
All these people investigating stuff, but there's no information that's been released. Zero. Just a bunch of hoopla, man. And a bunch of just hearsay, man. And gangsaying.
Doing more than just talking to witnesses. So as I said, and I will continue to say this, we plan to present a thorough case to the grand jury of Dallas County so that the right decision can be made in this case.
Just for clarity,
Yes.
Jason and the others are now on par with this and haven't had much sleep. Have they had the opportunity to speak with Amber Geiger as far as the district attorney's investigation is concerned?
They have talked. They have actually reviewed some of the interviews and that sort of.
They've had no contact with this woman. Her so-called good office, DA office, diligently working, they still haven't even had an interview with this woman. All they've had is to watch the interview that the Texas Rangers had, man. It's ridiculous, man. But they're so hardworking. They're working overnight. They haven't had sleep in 3 days. We all know this a lot, man.
In reference to the police officer, yes. I don't think, Jason, you all haven't talked to her personally right now, but we have reviewed the interviews. Is that correct?
We were present when the conversation occurred.
Yeah.
Not in the room.
Yeah.
We were part of that process.
Yeah, they were part of the process, but not actually conducting the interview.
Have the results of her blood alcohol levels been released yet, or have they come back?
We don't have any other information at this moment in terms of the results of anything of that nature.
So her blood results, alcohol and drugs results have still not even been released. Nothing's been released. Nothing has happened. I watched this DA's interview to at least think that something different, one thing of value they would say. But this whole interview is just a bunch of BS, man. They're not releasing anything to the public. It's ridiculous. The transparency is nowhere.
I don't have that information. I mean, there's talk about how long she worked, but we're in the process of clarifying and verifying a lot of information.
They don't even know when she worked. They don't even know what time she got off that night. They don't even know her shift. They don't even know when she started work and when she ended work. That's what they're telling you, man. But they're working diligently. They're working hard. They're not getting no sleep.
Look, I'm sorry. I was here yesterday at 7 when the family's attorneys had a press conference where they were a little frustrated that this officer had not yet been charged and arrested. Meanwhile, she was arrested at 6:37. What's the disconnect there?
I don't know why they would have been. I don't know why they would have been concerned. We had a very good conversation, so I don't know why they would have been concerned when they talked to you yesterday. I really don't.
Can we get an answer as to why it took you as a district attorney 3 days to make a statement regarding this case?
I was not the lead law enforcement in this case. The Texas Rangers were the group that was heading up the investigation. So we didn't want to intrude on what they were doing. So although we were in conversation and with them and my investigators and my prosecutors were on the case, we wanted to make certain that the Texas Rangers did what they needed to do. And we were in constant contact with the Texas Rangers. We met with them on a Sunday because that's how important this was to us, to be able to finally...
Who cares about the Sunday, man? Who cares about you meeting on some day that's not the real Sabbath? All right, who cares about you meeting on a Sunday? Who cares about this Texas Ranger relationship you got with these people, man? Like, no one cares, man. No one.
Where they were, give us an update, and for us to also express our concerns and the things that we wanted them to know about our perspective of the case. So that's what we did. So that's why we're having the press conference this morning, so that we can be fully informed and not just have a press conference just to have a press conference.
Judge, do you think it's going to be harder to present the case you want to present to the grand jury and seek the charges you think would be appropriate with the Rangers' involvement?
No, I don't think it's going to be difficult. No. We have cooperation with the Rangers. And as I indicated to you, I applaud them. They're working hard. They're still working. They've been diligent in their efforts in this case, the investigation in the case. So we have a good working relationship with them. And although we have a working relationship with them, we also are doing our independent investigation. And ultimately, we will be the one presenting the case to the grand jury.
Judge, let me ask you about, under your leadership as the chief law enforcement officer of this county, elected, how does it make you feel to see yet again a police officer facing a criminal charge? You just convicted and prosecuted one. There was one in Carrollton who was off duty, et cetera, et cetera. But how does it make you feel now in this community, your community, to face police again, particularly a black victim and a white officer, with all the kind of extra that comes with that?
As your
listen to what she says, man. So the Esau asks, what? How does it feel to have another black man innocently gunned down in your city? This is what she's gonna say.
County District Attorney, it just makes me more committed to do what's right and fair. That's the only thing America, the state of Texas, Dallas County want. They just want to make certain that there's equal justice. And I'm committed to that. However many times it happened.
There is no justice. Now listen, she said, however many times this has happened, the black man getting gunned down by the white man. Listen what she says.
However many few times it happened. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It can happen
matter.
1,000,000 times. It can happen one time. My commitment is to make certain that there's going to always be equal justice in this county. And that's my commitment.
So
to
she
this
said
county.
it doesn't matter how many times it's happened. She just wants to be able to judge these things, man, and to be a attorney, a district attorney for the DA's office. So she doesn't care about these people, man. She just said it doesn't matter if it was one of them. It doesn't matter if it was a million of them. As long as she can continue to do her job and give this fake justice that she's made up in her head that's just and good. When there's only one that's good, and that's the Father, man. Yahweh. And we know that, man. So we know that all that she's telling us is lies, man. It's crazy, man. It's a lot of things that you'll be astonished how they actually are, man. With the camera on them. Like, what?
Can you speak to, one last question. Can you speak to whether or not there's any truth to what the council member said when it was placed on social media about no one wanting to sign off on the warrant?
I'll speak to that.
So the council member, listen, this council member out of their own council said no one wanted to sign off on the warrant. Now look how Esau is going to step in and utterly cancel that, because that goes into his money. That goes into his office, into his people, into his situation. Now he's going to say something. He won't say nothing about nothing else. Now he's going to say something, and look what he says. He's going to utterly deny that this man said no one wanted to sign off on the warrant when that man was telling the truth, and he's part of the councils. Look what he's going to say.
Know anything about it?
I'll speak to that. It's totally false.
Totally false.
It is a terrible thing for an elected official to get in the middle of an investigation that the Texas Rangers are doing and possibly hurt the DA's chances of doing what she wants to do. And we looked at every point that he made, and every one did not happen. And
they're lying. It took 3 days for you to get the warrant. So no one was signing off on the warrant. That one thing that he said was true. What? That's common sense. They just want to utterly deny all the facts, man. And want to keep it you not knowing anything.
everybody should know that categorically it's wrong. Look, as mayor, you would do a lot of things differently. But my job as mayor is to make sure that in the long run, we get things done correctly. Every step along this way has been done professionally, and we are here today talking with the family that we've got a chance to make this happen. And so for me to kind of second guess little things like that, we're on the wrong side of the decimal point, guys, when we do that. With that, I also want to introduce a special guest here to Dallas, Texas, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia.
You don't even know his
Alan
name.
Chesney. Thank you so much. I talked to the Prime Minister on
You don't even know his name,
Saturday
man.
after we talked, and he was in North America and wanted to show up. So he's going to be meeting with the family. We'll be meeting at City.
He had to look on his phone to figure out this dude's name, man. That just made me laugh, man. Esau is a fool, man. I can't. He looked on his phone to know his name, then he still didn't pronounce it right after 3 or 4 times. It was ridiculous, man.
And thank you so much, Prime Minister, for you and the ambassador right there. Okay.
Nobody cares about that person.
Appreciate that.
They care about the
And
family.
I want to just piggyback and say to you, whether she's turned herself into Kaufman County or not, this case is in Dallas County. And the same, whatever treatment she's going to get in Dallas County, she's going to get it, regardless of the fact that she turned herself into Kaufman County. That was a call that the Texas Rangers made. I was not a part of that, but it doesn't concern me because we're prosecuting this case in Dallas County. And we're prosecuting this case and looking at it thoroughly. We will be ready for the grand jury. And as I indicated, we are going to have everything we need We would have talked to everybody we needed to talk to. We would have done everything we needed to do before we present this case to the grand jury. They will have all of the facts they need to make the right decision in this case. So, again, we are not concerned about the fact that Texas Rangers allowed her to turn herself in Kaufman County. So don't you be worried about that, okay? Thank you. Yes. That it very well may be an option. That may very well may be.
It should. She should die for it.
What we're trying to say to you is that we are going to have the grand jury is going to have a full picture of what happened in this situation. They're going to have a full picture.
In closing, I ask for the citizens of Dallas to respect the family. They're going to go through some difficult mourning. We've got a service on Thursday, and let's try to lift them up in those thoughts and prayers. Thank you, guys.
And I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you for your questions. And again, as I said to you, please continue to pray for this family.
Nobody wants your vain prayers, man. It's ridiculous, man. Oh no, is this one? No, that's too long. I'll go ahead and get on this subject about the hurricane coming. Y'all gotta realize what time we in right now, man. Y'all gotta really realize what time we're in right now, man. It's a time the Most High is making these things happening. He's showing you even the people that's high in society, the people that people and make so much like they're good people. They don't mean nothing. Like he's killing you, Israel, to show you that your righteousness that you think is righteous is not righteousness, man. You've gone to establish your own righteousness, man. All right? So you gotta go by this book, man, and go by the truth. All right? And that brother, sadly, he wasn't in the truth, man. But he was doing the church and all that, man. And the Most High, through the power of Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahushua, he did what he had to do. All right? This man died because the Most High wanted him to die. There's no other way around it. The Most High controls everything. All right, well, we're going to watch this real quick. I live in South Carolina, so this is it's a Category 4 storm right now, but it's probably going to be a Category 5 by the way it's looking. And it's going to hit right on South Carolina, and no one's worried about it. And it's supposed to hit Thursday. Not too many people care about it. They got the media exactly how they want it to be. They downplayed it the whole time. Now, all of a sudden, it's a Category 4. All right. Now it's going to be a Category 5. I can almost guarantee it. It's going to be a Category 5, man, because they just been downplaying it the whole time. All right. But this is what's coming, man, to America. This isn't by luck this is happening. This isn't by chance this is happening. This isn't by Africa dry air that this is happening. This isn't by circulation of wind or whatever they're trying to make it seem like this is scientific things, the reason why this is happening. This is by the power of Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahushua. All right? So for you to say that the Most High doesn't do this, you're a blasphemer, man. All right? You don't actually even know the word of the Most High, man. You don't know that the Most High does everything, man. Okay? So if you're going to say the Most High doesn't control all these things, you don't even understand God, man. You people have your vain opinions, man. That's not of the Most High. The Most High does all things, good and evil. All right? He's one. He takes people's life away. Let me get that scripture real quick. I got to get that before we go in there. The Most High takes people's life away, man. All right? Sadly, this brother got killed because the Most High wanted it to happen. Because the Most High does everything. All right? He goes to show you no matter how good you are in this society, no matter how much you think you is, you can still get gunned down because they hated you since the beginning, man. All right? And nothing's ever going to change, man. It's perpetual hatred. 1 Samuel 1 and 6. Is that what I want? I don't think that's what I want. That's not what I want. I'm gonna get it. Hold up. Maybe a second Samuel. That's not it either. Hold up. I got you. One second, Israel. One second. One second. I got it. Where is it? We'll get Isaiah 4 and 7 to start off. 45 and 7, but that's not what I want. We'll get there real quick. To show you. The Most High does all these things. We'll go to Isaiah. Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So the Lord he made the wicked people to go in and kill that man. The Most High did all the wicked and the good, man. All right? He's everything. So people don't understand. He does all those things, man. Okay? Let me get this. I can't find it. I gotta type because I can't remember for some reason. So let me just type in the search bar and see if I can find it. Is it gonna work with the? Alright, I don't know what's going on. What the world, man? I don't even know. It's not even searching right now. Alright, now we can find it. I think it's 1 Samuel. It's not what I'm looking for. Damn, man. Sorry, Israel. Bear with me. Shit. Let me find it right there. Oh my gosh. How can I not find this? I'm gonna find it, Israel. This is a necessary scripture for this situation, man. 1 Samuel, I'm thinking. That's what I thought it was. Gotta find it. It should show up, man. I don't know why it's not showing up. I think it's in the New Testament. I'm gonna keep looking for it. I'm finna find it, Israel. I'm so sorry. Sorry for you people that's still with me. Hope y'all Stay tuned and do this because it's edification. All for edification's sake. Oh, I'm trying to find it. Hold on, I might just have to Google this because I can't find it. No, I should find it. That's not what I'm looking for, though. I know Joe 121. That's not what I'm looking for. Anyways, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna play the video and I'm gonna find it while I'm playing the video. So.
Hurricane Florence has now strengthened into a Category 4 hurricane. The hurricane has maximum sustained winds of nearly 130 miles per hour and is threatening the southeastern U.S. States of emergency were declared in North and South Carolina, as well as Virginia, as millions of people are bracing for storm surge, flooding, heavy rains, and damaging winds. CBS News weather producer David Parkinson is here. Okay, David, set the scene for us. Where is the storm at the moment?
So the storm is still several hundred miles away from making landfall. It's actually over 1,000 miles away from making landfall, but it's getting a lot healthier. So here's the interesting thing. I was talking to Anne-Marie.
Healthy isn't good in a storm.
No, it's not. So I was talking to Anne-Marie at 11 a.m. and we had jumped up to a Category 3. The National Hurricane Center did a very rare thing and at noon kicked it up to a Category 4. So that's 15 miles an hour in an hour in terms of their classification. Take a look at the satellite. Look at how clearly you can see that eye. You can almost see into the center of it, right? That is an extremely healthy looking storm, and it's continuing to go unabated basically straight at the coast because you're going into some exceptionally warm water. So it's southeast of Bermuda. We're still over 1,000 miles from the coast, but it's moving west at 13 miles an hour, and it is now up to a Category 4 as it marks its way west.
Is it good that it's far away because it gives it time to die out, or is it bad that it's far away because it gives it time to strengthen?
Yeah, it's got plenty of a runway. So take a look at this, right? So we're 130 now. By tomorrow, it's 145. By Wednesday, it's 150. And then we think as it gets close to shore, there might be a little bit of shear that it runs into that'll weaken it just a little bit. But it looks like high-end 3, low-end 4, maybe even mid-range 4 when it makes landfall. If it does so as a 4, it would be the first time North Carolina's ever seen a Category 4 to make landfall.
And that's Saturday afternoon we expect landfall?
No, it is early Friday morning. So it could be as early as Thursday night, but probably wee hours of the morning Friday, as late as maybe 6 a.m. But here's the interesting thing. We have gotten a lot better about this forecast, right? So we've whittled it down. This was the call on Evening News Friday. And then take a look at what happened now. Look at how much we're more certain. So here's the interesting thing. We're getting some more model guidance that suggests, Wilmington is not only the south end of the envelope, but you got to now watch out for a landfall that kind of stalls off the coast of the Outer Banks, which is both a sort of good and bad news type situation.
What's good about that?
Good news in the sense that most of the state is not going to be in the right front quadrant, which is the worst side of the storm to be. But here's the stall scenario, right? It's moving 10 to 12 miles an hour onshore. As soon as it makes landfall, it slows down to 3 to 4 miles an hour. So now, in just 24 hours, it's covered 90 miles. That means during that whole time, you're getting all of this rainfall. So you've got a freshwater flooding component that is added on to a wind component and a storm surge component. So in terms of how much freshwater flooding we're looking at, right, this has nothing to do with water getting pushed in from the ocean. But the freshwater flooding, we're looking at a 15 to 30-inch range, and that is half of what Harvey had, but it's the same situation. Storm gets inland and just stops moving.
You're getting ahead of my next question, which is this a flooding event, a wind event, a storm surge event? What are we most worried about?
Right, so it is all three. So here's the most important thing to note on this. The strongest winds are in what I like to call a little banana that's right around the center of the storm. It's not very large. Usually it's 15 to 45 miles. If you're in that, you've got some serious damage. But beyond that, you've got strong wind, but it's not, deadly, widespread destructive wind. The next thing that's really concerning is the storm surge. So when you take a look at what the storm surge is going to be doing for this storm, you are looking at inundations of 9 feet in some places. So if we take a look at this map right here, I know it's a little bit zoomed out, but I kind of want to give everybody a perspective there, right? Wilmington's in the far southwest bottom left corner of there. Anywhere you see purple on that map is flooding of 9 to 10 feet. Feet of water, right?
That is a lot of land.
That is talking about an entire first floor of, let's say, a hotel completely covered, right? There are spots in the town and city of New Bern where the entirety blocks away from the river, 10, 20 blocks away from the river, are still underwater. You've got that in Jacksonville, in Greenville, in all of these places that are close to Washington, close to the coast. That's really the big concern there, is that all that water is going to get pushed up the rivers and into the sounds. That's the storm surge on top of the wind, on top of the freshwater flooding that I was talking about earlier.
Last thing, this starts Friday night, and when do we think it'll be over?
That's the big TBD. So this thing could go into Monday, it could go into Tuesday. It's just a question of when it kind of kicks out. And here's the interesting thing, right? If it takes that Cape Hatteras stall, it does a little loop-de-loop, and then maybe it comes in. So we could be talking about this storm not only a week from today, but into the middle of next week. And that's why we're really concerned about that freshwater flooding beyond the first landfall. The key thing that I want to just stress on this one, if you are evacuating from the coast, right, we've got mandatory evacuations at Cape Hatteras. If you're evacuating from the coast, don't go to inland North Carolina, because that's where the heaviest rain is going to be.
Okay.
So you're going to be seeing the same sort of problems. If you can
Get north or south.
Right. So go to South Carolina, into Georgia. Those are good, safe places away from this storm. But, I was talking with people at UNC in Morehead City, and they're like, oh, we'll go up to Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill is not going to be doing that much better.
Is north okay? You can go to Virginia?
Virginia, depending where you are, they've got some problems too, but it's not nearly as bad perhaps as a Raleigh. But DC and on beyond there is probably in a safer spot, at least in the first indications. And I think by tomorrow and probably Wednesday, we'll have a better handle on exactly where this thing's going to go after it makes landfall.
Okay, David Parkinson, I'm sure we'll be seeing lots more of you in the days ahead. Thanks for the latest forecast.
Of course. Thanks, bro.
All right, man. So that's what's happening with this Hurricane Florence, man. It's getting pretty dirty, man. You have to be keeping an eye out
I'd
for
like
these
to point out
prophecies.
that we are expecting more wind than we had with Hugo and more water than we.
You have to be keeping an eye out for these prophecies, man. And know that the Most High does all this, man. All right. What's the scripture I was looking for? But pretty much, man, you gotta be on a watchman, man. All right. You gotta be watching for the Most High. So we're gonna get this scripture right here. So I still want to get that first Samuel, but I can't find it. So I just give up on it. We'll go right here. You're supposed to be measuring the times, man. All right. So you got to be constantly looking for the second Ezra is 9:1. Second Ezra is 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, thou shalt understand. It is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there should be a scene of earthquakes and proves the people in the world. All right. So, you gotta understand what's happening around you, man. You can't be caught out there in the world, man. You gotta understand that these things are happening by the Most High God, not by, things just happening. All right. The scripture that I was trying to get was in Second Samuel, I think. About the Most High. He all goings are of the. We all know all goings are of the Lord, but the Most High giveth life and He taketh away. All right. I was trying to find it. I just can't find it. I don't know where it's at. Oh, there we go. Found it. All power to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, because I couldn't find it nowhere. All right. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. So the Most High, he's going to kill all these people out of storm. He killed that brother in Dallas. All right. And he makes alive, man. The Lord killeth and makes alive. So when you seeing all these people dying, man, don't think the Most High didn't do it. All right? Don't think the Most High didn't do it for not 1 second. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. All right? So you got to understand, man, the Most High done all these things. The Lord makes these people die. All right? Whether you want to admit it or not. But with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. All right? Shalom, Israel.